one of the new cards that came from Murders at Karlov Manor for the Zoo deck in Modern is Leyline of the Guildpact. If it's good, it's great. It's kind of combo-y. If you haven't seen it yet, it allows for a turn 2 Scion of Draco with any mana you have, as long as you got 2 lands, Leyline of the Guildpact, and Scion of Draco. It's pretty much amazing. One of the matchups that was actually really great was Murktide that I found. They don't have a lot of ways to deal with it. And I wanted to show you the match. It was a 2-0, and it just felt great. So I just have to share it. Okay, so first opening hand was cracked. It's got Scion of Draco, it's got Leyline. This is pretty much the nuts. Also have Not Dead After All. That'll be important in a moment. I've got the turn 2 Kabu as well, or turn 3 Kabu after Scion. So turns out it's Murktide. They play a turn 1 Ragavan. I'm on the draw. I top deck the Grief, and hello, this the Rakdos scam thing is imported into this deck, and it's fantastic. I mean, you thought you were out of it. You thought you were away from Rakdos scam, but you're not. So I top deck the nuts, the absolute nuts. So Grief scam them on turn 1. Take your Shredder and your Preordain. Okay. I do have to take a Ragavan hit. And let's see if he's going to hold up manas. He's got 3. So I had to play a Savai Triome so I don't get the turn 2 because it goes into play tapped. But I decide I'm going to block the Ragavan on the next hit, and he Odowaras my Grief. Sad day, but it's fine. So he gets in and gets a Grief off the top. So turn 3, I get my Scion down. He doesn't counter it, and then I might as well play the Grief because I'm never going to play the Grief for real. It's only 2 lands. So right here, Scion of Draco has First Strike, Hexproof, Lifelink Trample, Vigilance, and Flying. And it also applies that to every other creature that you have, because each creature you control has all this crap, because everything is all colors. Each non-land permanent you control is all colors. So it makes all your shit untargetable to spot removal. So there's nothing that Murktide actually has that can deal with it, except destroying the Leyline, or in their case, bouncing the Leyline, so they have 1 turn to kill whatever is oppressing them. So they've taken Brazen Borrow out of the deck. So Odawara is about it. And their only out is a fat-ass Murktide. So this feels pretty good right here in this spot. Sitting with a 4/4 flying lifelink, Vigilance feels amazing. Play Makabu. Drain you for 4. He's going to dig with Expressive. And the DRC has to attack. Unless he plays a fat-ass Murktide. So he's got a 6/6. He found the Murktide. He's going to Subtlety my Tarmogoyf. Which I don't care. I'm digging for a kill spell for the Murktide anyway. So we're going to sit here and stare at each other, because I can't attack into his 6/6, and he can't attack because I can just drain him back. So we're going to stare at each other for a few turns. Find a Ragavan, gonna play it out. I mean, Murktide has to only run like one Otawara, probably not two. I find the Leyline, so I need to clear the way. I'm gonna Thought Seize just to make sure it's all good. He plays Bolt in response. He does have a Murktide and a Holy Heat. I'm gonna take the Murktide. The coast is clear. Gonna Leyline that Murky, and we're all good to swing away. All right, he gives me game one. Never didn't have it. And this is game two. Opening hand is okay. Tarmogoyf and two Thoughtseize. It's okay, like very mediocre to maybe bad. Like, so I wanted to say I did side in 3 Leyline of the Void. So I have a lot of hits for shit that I want to just have in my opening hand. So instead of just 4 hits, I've got 7 hits that I would just like to have. So I'm really okay with mulling this hand. So let's go and get another hand here. Aha. So this is my hand minus a Ragavan that I bottomed. And that looks great. I got Leyline, turn 1 Leyline binding if I need it. Kavu on 2 or Tarmogoyf. Play the Leyline. He plays Ragavan. And that's a turn 1 Leyline, baby. Let's get rid of that Ragavan. We don't need none of that. Get that junk out of here, man. That feels good. And it feels nice when the deck works, when it does what it's supposed to do. It just doesn't always do that. So it feels bad when it doesn't. But when it works, man, it's a dopamine hit. I tell you, it's good stuff. So for 2, going to play Kavu, just in case he's got a counter spell. And of course he does. I'd rather that get countered since I have 2 of them in hand than my Scion of Draco. I need that lifelink. Sure, he plays DRC and Ragavan. He's tapped out, so you're gonna sling the Scion of Draco out there for free. Well, for 2, but pretty much free. It's gonna take a little bit expressive. Swing and take Ragavan because I don't care about the 3 damage. And I've got nothing but gas. Nothing but gas in hand. Free attack, vigilance, lifelink, drain you for 4. Play a Tarmogoyf. Ledger Shredder. Expressive. Free. DRC goes down. Gonna take your expressive. Swing for lethal. He's got a block. Yeah, I mean, that's game. He gives me game 2. So when this deck is firing on all cylinders, it's awesome. I mean, on the other hand, I played my first match against Tron. I mean, and they can just blow the board up, and that's what they did, and it was terrible, and felt really bad. I think he had like a turn 2 Beseiju on my Leyline, and I was like, I mean, it wasn't good. So, I mean, there's some better matchups. Like anything that can blow the board up kind of sucks. But this seems like I'm happy to go against Murktide. And anything that has like pointed spot removal, like let's go. If you get this combo, like you're just sitting pretty for a while. So anyway, that's just a very nice little matchup that I felt really good about. Wanted to share that with you guys.